How's your day been? Y'all, I've been hearing a lot more gunshots lately. Actually, you know what? Let me ask you. What's the deal with house robberies?
Personally speaking, I would not have any insight into that.
I got you. Reason I bring it up is I feel like there has definitely been like an uptick in
how much do I owe you?
It's gonna be $1,000.
Flat
$1,000, brother.
All right.
Officer Aldo, you might know something about this. I'm a little worried about these house robberies. Oh, thank you for the tip.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm a little worried about these house robberies that are kicking off.
In what regard?
Well, I've been hearing about so many of them, and there's a lot of people creeping. Without going into too much specifics. And what I mean by that is, I think people are sitting out of houses, waiting for people to come in, and then, before you know it, they are now, beating you upside the head, taking a key, going in, and yoinking your shit. For folks like myself, that's very concerning because I'm sitting on, like, transparently $100,000 to $200,000 worth of product.
Okay.
So,
I mean, yeah.
Like, I guess where I'm going with this is, this sounds so sus, me asking this. Do you guys do y'all know if that shit is happening?
I could go out on a limb and say this. Are you a homeowner?
Yes, I am.
Does anybody have a key to your home besides you?
They should not.
So it's just you.
Correct.
In the event that you get robbed of your key, if you can contact the police immediately, kind of tell us which house it is, give us a description of the gentleman. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, you could go ahead and change the locks. I know that'd probably be a pain in the ass. But let's say down the line you did give a key. Let's say you gave a key to myself, right?
I just had the best idea, but please continue.
If you gave a key to myself, and let's say I got robbed of the key, and let's say the police department apprehended both of us, they would hold that key for you because you're the homeowner. Does that make sense? Like you'd have to go get it.
Whose key is what?
Well, I mean, there's a few different ways you could go about that. So let's say, like I said, I got robbed of a key, and it's a key to your house, right? I say, hey, my name's Aldo Jackson. I live with Mr. Chavez. I had my key taken from me. That's the key you just got off that gentleman. They'd hold the key, contact you, and they could match the keys together. Make sure they actually work. It's the actual same fucking key. They could actually go with you to the property. There's several things we can do to verify that. Now, as far as the only thing I personally can think of, as far as like, if you're worried about your home being broken into or your key being stolen when you're at your house, is we could, I could say something to the higher ups about possibly patrolling in neighborhoods where there are a lot of homeowners. If we ain't got any fucking calls going on, just doing like a drive, through the neighborhood and shit. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Where do you live? If you don't mind me asking.
In Grove Street.
Okay. So you're down in Grove. Is there a lot of homeowners down in Grove, or is it just you and a couple others?
I think there's quite a few now. I haven't really checked. I can say there's at least like 5 people living down there. So my idea, I think homeowners should have an easier time getting a firearms license. And I think I'm going to petition that.
Who should?
Homeowners. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I don't know what the plans currently are for weapons licenses. Honestly, and this is me being wholeheartedly honest. I would love to see the weapons licenses be strict enough that people that actually want to do security work are getting the first shot at having weapons licenses. I mean, imagine if all y'all down in Grove pitched in and y'all had like an actual security team, in the neighborhood. That kind of monitor all y'all's houses and everything like that.
Yeah, That makes sense.
But I mean, like I said, it all depends on the city council and everything like that. Like even the legislation, I don't know the last time you checked that legislation, Mr. Chavez, but you're no longer allowed to defend your property. Believe it or not.
Huh? Wait, could you
Yeah.
read it to me? What it says exactly?
I'll read it to you. Yeah. Let me find it. Defense of self and others. Stand in your ground. A person can use force to defend themselves or associates when they actually and reasonably believe that they're in danger of serious bodily harm or death. However, a person is required to take steps, such as stepping back or walking away, that are consistent with the person's own safety to avoid the necessity of taking a life. As soon as imminent danger has passed, persons are required to inform authorities of what transpired.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry. What?
I'll summarize it this time. It is essentially you are only supposed to defend yourself if you believe you're about to be harmed, not if your property is being broken into. Essentially.
But with all due respect, like I don't
that
wanna,
is the current legislation with the Department of Justice.
But isn't that exactly? But doesn't that support it? Because if someone is breaking into your house, that in itself is
I
like,
think obviously yes, but I think what I'm trying to explain to you is you can no longer, let's say somebody breaks into your car, you can no longer order them out of the car as a civilian or threaten to fucking shoot them for stealing your property. Does that make sense?
But what about if they're in your property?
I think you can easily make the argument for it, right? But it's no
Gotcha.
longer inherently. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe I don't remember the actual old legislation, but from my knowledge, how it would have worked is something along the lines of, you know, motherfucker breaks into your property, they could be trying to steal from you. Just on those grounds alone, you have every right to defend yourself and your property. Now you have to actually believe you're going to be harmed, which I agree with you. Somebody breaks into your house, I'm right there with you. You know, if I got a gun, I'm grabbing that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%.
But like, it's no longer just as black and white, is what I'm trying to say.
That makes
a little
sense.
bit more. There's a little bit more to it. I personally think that homeowners and business owners, you know, castle doctrine should be something that you should go to the city council about as a homeowner, 100%. But I mean, honestly, when's the last time you went to City Hall and kind of looked at things?
I don't recall, to be honest. It's been a while.
Honestly, I'd recommend you going down to city council, to the you know, city hall and looking at legislation in the public MDT. You would genuinely be surprised at how little there is in there.
Okay. Yeah, 100%.
I'm to the point where it took 3 days, and me and a captain had to go down to the Department of Justice and get them to put speed limits publicly for people. When this city council gets up and running, especially if you're a homeowner and you obviously do good business here and you've always helped me in the past, I would try to work closely with the city council once they get up and running and try to petition for some changes that you think might be beneficial for civilians and yourself. Okay?
Yeah, 100%. I really appreciate the insight. I didn't know that much was out there, but
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, there's a lot of folk that disagree with the speed limits, and what I've been telling everybody: if you think 35 is too low, wait for the city council petition.
Hell yeah,
have your voice be heard.
Yeah,
the
55,
way I look at it is,
please.
The way I look at it is, I don't make the laws; I just enforce them. And if folk want change, I'm all for it, but they need to go through the city council. You know.
That makes sense.
All right.
All right,
Chavez, thank you so much. All right.
Take care.
Y'all take care.